All right, welcome back to the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. Rich Walsh along with Paul Zeise. We're talking about high school sports, a PIAA decision to defy the governor. What's going on here in Allegheny County, how they're going to not allow parents and families to go to cross-country meets. That's ridiculous, Paul. I mean, I ran cross-country. I mean,
well, you know, the governor said.
You have 3 miles to stand somewhere. 3 miles.
Well, the governor said we can't have cross-country because, you know, the number of parents and fans that congregate at the finish line. Richie, I've been to a bunch of cross-country meets in my career. I don't recall seeing like this great big crowd of people at the finish line. And you know what? I hate to say it this way, but this is what they've set up. I guess they would be okay if all of those parents at the finish line congregated were holding protest signs. Then the virus would know to stay away, right? Is that what happens?
I don't know, Paul. Let's go out to Sackman. How you doing, Sackman?
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's up?
Hey, I've been officiating football for over 20 years. You guys are missing a big point on this whole Mr. Lombardi out in PIAA.
What are we missing?
The main reason why the PIAA is fighting to play football during this pandemic, they fought the last 3-4 years. The officials try to unionize. They spent over $2 million, okay? They're broke. So their biggest money makers with TV revenue is football and basketball. Last fall, I think it was in December or November, the courts ruled in D.C. that we couldn't form to be a union for officials. So now you lost the revenue money in March for basketball. If he cancels out this fall, he loses that revenue for football, the biggest money maker. They're broke, and the PIA had nowhere else to go but go forward with this.
Sackman, I appreciate the call. I don't know much about that, Paul. I don't think that really had anything to do with it. Do you? I mean, it could be an issue.
I mean,
but how much the PIAA is not making any money, hardly any money on television revenue. It's high school sports. I mean, they're not making that much money.
It's high school sports.
Yeah.
I mean, they have the game of the week on PCN or whatever it is.
I mean, that's not. They don't even get. I don't know if they get any money from that. I mean, I don't think that's a big deal. I just think no one knows what they're doing here. Just have the governor, have someone just say, "This is what we're doing. This is what we're doing," instead of everyone just kind of fend for themselves.
I think Bob Lombardi was that guy.
I do.
He basically said, "Listen, we're doing it. This is it." And I think he had the exact right quote, which is the attitude we should take in every endeavor when it comes to this stuff. He said, the only wrong answer or the only wrong decision is not to try. And that's what we should be doing, really. I mean, you look at the ACC and the SEC and the Big 12, right? I don't know if they're going to play football or not, but they didn't need to. The Big 10 didn't need to cancel it a month ago or 2 weeks ago or whatever. I mean, the ACC and the Big 12 and the SEC said, look, we're going to give it a real try and we're going to see what happens. And that's what you should do. You should say, we're going to give it a try. You shouldn't say, here's all the reasons why we can't do it.
Let's go out to one of our favorite callers here, Pete in Squirrel Hill. Pete, you call all the time. You ask us questions.
Hey, gentlemen, how are you tonight?
Hey, Pete, I'm great. I want to ask you a question real quick before you ask us.
Sure, buddy, go ahead.
Do you have any kids? Any kids that played
I
sport?
don't. I couldn't do that to anybody in life. Anybody dated me for 3 weeks went on Prozac.
Okay. Go ahead.
What I'm calling about tonight, Paul, about your comment earlier about there's no leadership. Well, where do we find that, Paul, anywhere in our society? Let me give an example. In our country, Paul, you're allowed to go into a restaurant, take your mask off, eat food, okay, and breathe recycled air. You're not allowed to go to a mass attended event outside with a mask on, breathe fresh air, and in particular, indirect sunlight. It's scientifically proven. UVA radiation, UVB radiation kills viruses and bacteria. But you can't do that. But you can go into a restaurant, take the mask off, breathe, okay, polluted air, okay, and get the illness. I just don't understand where the leadership is in our country. Thank you.
Thanks, Paul. I mean, Pete and Paul. Hey, look, I just want to read this tweet here. It was sent to both of us, right? I don't know if you saw this. From Drewski368, okay? These are the kind of tweets we get every night. I have never heard a dumber half-hour sports talk in my life. I was trying to figure out when each of you idiots got your medical doctorate in which you decided it was safe to play sports. Thanks. I'm not pretending to be a doctor. Never once did I say, you know, I know about medicine. I know about this disease. I'm saying how I would feel, how I feel as a parent of a kid that's playing. My kids both went to summer camp for 2 weeks each. They're fine. You know, they followed protocols. They followed all the guidelines. They're swimming every day at the pool. They're playing golf. They're doing all these things that kids are doing. I feel safe. I feel fine with it, right? And if they wanted to play golf in the fall, I would be all for it. But I would want to go as a parent to see them.
Richie, between you and I think we have 8 children. So I'm pretty sure that we have a pretty good idea of what it is in terms of, you know, you want your kids to be safe and all that other stuff. And let me say one step further. I coach basketball. You know, I coach girls basketball. We've been playing all summer long. We've been playing, we've been practicing 2-3 times a week. We've been going every weekend to play in tournaments. This idea that somehow if the PIAA said we're not playing sports, that kids wouldn't be playing sports is ridiculous. And the thing about it is the PIAA, if the state, if Tom Wolf and company had any brains at all, they would say at least the PIAA, we can monitor what they're doing. We can, you know, regulate it. We can have protocols as opposed to all these rogue travel leagues that just do whatever they want to do. But that would require foresight. And as for the, you know, nonsensical stuff that this guy's talking about, neither one of us claim to be experts. All we're saying is just be consistent with whatever your policy is going to be. And when you are allowing, you know, thousands of people to march outside, right? Every single day, seemingly, all over the country, but especially in this state, you know, different places in the state, right? Don't tell me you can't have 80 people outside watching a soccer game, because that's just stupid.
All right, now we're going to do our office, Tri-State Office Furniture tweet of the day. And this is from Tom Pelissero. The Canadian Football League Players Association informing players tonight has reached a deal with the CFL, which canceled the 2020 season, allowing any player to opt out of his contract starting Monday per sources. Some new names available for NFL workouts soon. We got to take a break, but Nicole, stick around. We're going to get to your call coming up next.